Hello, I am Vibhu and I am one of the executive editors with the Fifth Estate. And today I am here with Harsh, who is standing for the position of Research Affairs Secretary. So Harsh, without further ado, we'll start your interview. So first question, what is your opinion on the current academic grievance redressal system available for research scholars? Do you think there is scope for improvement?
So, yeah, there is a need for the scope of improvement in the grievance redressal system. There is a getting whatever the grievance like a research scholar raises, it is getting delayed. So recently we have one grievance related to the coursework for the MS scholar, like which is based on the CGPA system. So addressal of that problem take lot of time, and during that time period, lot of the scholars have have lot of tension in their mind, a lot of stress, because they have taken 10 courses, and because of it their CGPA is decreased. So this should not be done. Like if any new implementation is being done, then it should be first redressed to the scholars. Like first it should be present to the scholars like this is going to be done. They taken the response from the student, and then it should be done. Yeah, so it needs improvement.
For the second question, recently a fee hike in hostel and dining fees was announced. Research scholars in particular were aggrieved, seeing that they would receive a fixed stipend. What is your stance on the fee hike, and how would you represent the interests of the research scholars in this matter?
Like first I want to say that increase in the stipend should be there, like stipend should be increased, and the other on the fee hike is that fee definitely will going to increase after some time. It cannot be remain constant for a long period of time. If it is not not increasing this year, it may increase next year. But the problem is that government is not increasing our stipend. So government should think with the time, expenses are increasing, costs are increasing of the everything, but the scholars who are coming to this institute, any research scholar, their stipend is not increasing. So to maintain a balance between these two, like stipend should be increased. And the other is thing that most of the scholar who come to the research scholar, they don't get support from their family. So definitely they step back from doing research. If they get a sufficient stipend also, then they definitely come forward and do more research work.
We'll now move on to for the third question, how would you address the lack of research scholars in the cultural spheres of the institute? Is it because of the nature of the work, or is there a systemic problem?
You start? Okay. See, I think both are equally important, like nature of the work and the systematic problem, both are there. We are the research scholar, we have to do the research and finish our work to get the degree. The problem that the thinking of the research scholar is that they think that if they go in the cultural activities, their course program will get extended. And also there is some kind of mental pressure always in their mind, like they have to do, because research work is full of lot of uncertainties, don't know what going to happen in the next day. So this uncertainties force them to not take a part in the research cultural fest activities. And the other is thing that there is some kind of opacity between the authorities guide and the research scholar. This also force the scholars to not participate in the and stay away from these cultural activities. So these problems needs to be addressed.
We'll now move on to the fourth and fifth question, which are based on your manifesto. So in your manifesto, you mention separate placement for graduating research scholars. Why would separating teams be the ideal path ahead? Would separate placements have a different timeline and portal as well? And if so, how do you plan on executing all of this in one term?
Okay, the separate placement means like we especially focus more on the research scholar for their placement. Like this time what I am planning, like we build some network of the alumni who got placed in some industries and who still have their own startups. We will build a platform of their connection. So at the end of the time, like if any of the MS and PhD scholars somehow they don't get placed in any of the company, in any of the round, first round or second round, so what we will do, like we will take the resume of their and send their resume to all the alumni, and if they find the match, making with their industry, they will get a walk-in interview, and by this way they can get better opportunities also, and they feel little more better, like still there is some hope if they don't get placed.
For your final question, you also mentioned that you would seek an increase in stipend. How would you go about doing so, considering that stipend amounts are not decided by the institute? How would you ensure uniformity amongst the different funding agencies or different fellowships?
Yeah, actually, this is right. This is not, stipend is not decided by the institute. It is controlled by the MHRD. So right now there is a one institute like All India Research Scholar. There is a one union of all the research scholar. So what is my motive is to contact with them and approach to the authorities, like to the MHRD, like there is a need of the increase in the stipend, and we pitch our idea like this much amount should be increased for the research scholar. So by this way we can approach to the MHRD and convince them, like, and showing that the need of the time, so they will increase. By this way